Our top story, £60 million and counting. That's the amount of money that's been spent developing plans for tram and trolleybus systems in Leeds. Now, Look North understands that the money's been used to buy property and design the routes, but nothing has been built. No, it's been 10 years today since the tram scheme was cancelled and a year since a public inquiry into the controversial trolleybus ended. There's still no word as to whether it will get the go-ahead. Spencer Stokes reports.
If Leeds is to ever get a tram or trolleybus network, it's likely this row of shops at Hyde Park will disappear. For 20 years now, the shop owners have been told that the building is going to be knocked down to make way for Leeds' new transport solution. But 2 decades on, the building is still standing, and the retailers are confident they'll be here for some time to come. In the barber's shop, they've got used to hearing about the latest congestion-busting plan and what it could mean for the future of the business.
We need a solution, but I don't think a trolleybus or a super tram will be the solution. I'll still be stood here a lot of years from now talking about the proposed transport scheme, what they're coming up with now to come up this road. I don't think these shops were ever designed to be here this long, but I think they're still yet to be here for a lot more years. Even before the builders arrive, new transport systems cost huge amounts of money. £40 million was spent developing the Supertram scheme for Leeds. Building work did briefly get underway before being abandoned exactly 10 years ago today, when costs began to rise. The solution was the cheaper trolleybus. It runs on overhead wires like a tram, but doesn't need tracks. 1 year ago, a public inquiry about it ended. Since then, things have gone very quiet. And for the man who's battled to get trams and trolleybuses, it's been a frustrating decade.
We're the biggest city in Western Europe without modern public transport systems. And if you're trying to address all the issues of jobs, investment, social isolation, improve the environment, then we need to get on with schemes now.
Whilst Leeds has waited, other UK cities have forged ahead. Most noticeably, Nottingham and Edinburgh, both smaller than Leeds, now have tram lines.
The government again has been dragging its heels. The inquiry was completed last year. We're told that we may have an answer at the beginning of next year, and there's no guarantee that the government inspector will even rule in favour of the trolleybus. If he rules against it, that could be another 10 years before the scheme is revived.
So for the time being, it seems Mark's business is safe. Just like 20 years ago, there's talk of trams and trolleybuses, but no sign they're coming.
Well, Spencer is in Leeds this evening. When will we get a decision?
Well, the public inquiry into the trolleybus that would come into Leeds city centre and run very close to the bus station behind me, Harry, finished a year ago. The inspector handed his report in July, and it's now with the government. I spoke to the Department for Transport this afternoon. They say they've been looking at it and they're considering it very carefully, and they will publish a fully reasoned decision as soon as reasonably possible. But they say it's a complex system, there's complex issues, and it's too early to predict when that decision will come. It could be a couple of months, or it may be well into 2016 before we have any decision on whether or not the scheme will go ahead in full, whether it will go ahead in part, or whether it will be cancelled altogether.
Supposing the government says, right, Yorkshire, you've got more political powers, could that speed things along at all?
Not with this scheme now. This one's firmly at Whitehall. It's with central government. They'll make the final decision. In the future, though, if the Leeds City region were to get devolution, they're pushing for control over transport projects. So a scheme like this in the future in West Yorkshire will be funded by the Leeds City region, and they would make the decision on whether it would go ahead. They say that would be a good thing because it would happen a lot more quickly, and that is going to happen down in South Yorkshire because there's going to be an elected mayor from 2017, and he or she will have power over transport. Here in Leeds, as yet, no devolution deal for the city region, and also, of course, no trolleybus or tram system.